Was working corporate and COVID happened and was isolated, man, working from home. And I just got to be around people. That's what energizes me. And, several friends of mine were just like, man, you got to try selling your dad's cheese dip. And a lot of people had told my dad, Charlie, we call him the cheese father, had told him along the way, you get this stuff on grocery store shelves. And I just was like, I'm going to give this a shot. And once I brought it to my wife's attention, she was like, that's really cool. That's a neat idea. And then 2 weeks later, I bring it up again and tell her what all I've done. And she's like, I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm known to start and stop things pretty quickly. But yeah, that's really, it just sprung from needing something more fulfilling and more purposeful. And what better way to bring a food product into the picture that is fulfilling to me? It honors my dad, who's still with us, of course, and I can bring people together and still continue serving in some way, right? Giving back to the community. And that's just been the foundation of all of it.
Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcom Reed. I got my lovely wife, Rochelle, beside me today instead of across from me because we got a special guest, Shell.
Yeah, we do.
Mr. Andrew Arbogast. Did I pronounce that
Yes,
right,
sir.
Andrew?
That's it. Thank you.
Arbo for...
yeah, just
That's how the Arbo name came, is people just got sick of trying to pronounce the last part, so it stuck.
So, Andrew, you're the guy behind Arbo's cheese dip brand. What started as a family recipe turned into one of the fastest growing cheese dips on the grocery store shelves all across the South and other parts of the nation, too. Welcome to How to Barbecue Right, the podcast.
Man, that's the first time I've heard that intro. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. It feels accomplishment. Like, who are you talking about? No, thanks for having me on, Malcom.
Yeah, man. No, I've been a fan of your cheese dip for a long time. I think we met. I don't remember the first place we met. I think it might have been a barbecue contest. I think you came up and was like, hey, man, you want to try some cheese dip? And I was like, heck, I love cheese dip.
It's like when you have something and you want someone that you see as like, okay, this person is a role model to many people. It's like you get, at first you're like, oh man, I don't want to do it. I don't want to come off as too salesy. But eventually you're like, I'm just going to try it. Worst thing he could say is no, and you were so kind and I appreciate that.
Well, I don't turn down free cheese.
That's a good opening line, though.
Yeah.
Want to try some cheese dip?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. You asked the fat kid that? What?
Yeah.
You got any chips?
No, I know. That's what I always forget is the chips.
But no, we wanted to bring you on, one, because we love the brand. We think and I see you on store shelves, and I've seen your stuff out and about, and I know you're doing a good thing, but I wanted to get to know kind of the man behind Arbo's, where it came from, kind of the origin story, and then the whole deal, because well, first off, thank you for your service. I know you're a proud veteran. You served our country, and you've just got a great story where you took a family idea and turned it into a brand. And man, and there's nothing better than that.
Oh, thanks, Malcom. I just don't think I would be here doing Arbo's if it wasn't for, my time in service. Just all the things I learned throughout that, but never did that exist in my 10-year, 20-year plan of, I'm going to start a cheese dip company when I get out.
How much cheese did you eat in the Army?
Oh, gosh. How much processed cheese did we eat? But, it was funny. Like, we would eat in the dining facilities wherever we were, and you see the box of meat, and it says, for military or prisoners.
Same food.
Same. So, no, this is, my dad's recipe, and that's where the name came from, Arbo. It's like I have two brothers. We're all called Arbo, right? And to me, it just stuck when the idea really came to light during COVID. And like I, told you earlier today, I was working corporate, and COVID happened, and was isolated, man, working from home, and I just got to be around people. That's what energizes me. And there's more to that story that plays into this. But I'm like, well, I love cooking. I love food. And if there is a way that I could work in food with food, I'd be a happy person. And, several friends of mine were just like, man, you got to try selling your dad's cheese dip. And a lot of people had told my dad, Charlie, we call him the cheese father, had told him along the way, you get this stuff on grocery store shelves. And I just was like, I'm going to give this a shot. And once I brought it to my wife's attention, she was like, that's really cool. That's a neat idea. And then 2 weeks later, I bring it up again and tell her what all I've done. And she's like, you're not, I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm known to like start and stop things pretty quickly. But yeah, that's really, it just sprung from needing something more fulfilling and more purposeful. And what better way to bring a food product into the picture that is fulfilling to me? It honors my dad, who's still with us, of course, and I can bring people together and still continue serving in some way, right? Giving back to the community. And that's just been the foundation of all of it.
That's a great origin story. I mean, to be able to take an idea like that or something that your dad had and to put it on a shelf, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So is this a recipe you grew up with?
Yes. So it was always in our fridge. And even, I left home early. I went to a boarding school in Arkansas when I was 14. And so whenever I'd come home, it's like, yeah, I grew up with it. But whenever I'd come home, Dad knew to have a fresh batch waiting for me, right? And I'd bring it back to boarding school. And then, college, I'd do the same thing. I'm always making it. And people were just like, this stuff is crack, it is so good. And you can't stop eating it. And still never a concept for later in life that I thought would come to light or come to fruition. So from that point of just making it for everyone, and then eventually, coming full circle, I'm like, Dad, remind me where you got this recipe, because I know you've always made it. He's like, well, your grandmother, your mom's mom, gave it to me, and I, tweaked it along the way and made some adjustments. But the beautiful thing about it was like, you can eat it cold, right?
Yeah.
This stuff is so good cold. You don't have to warm it up. You take out the fridge, dip a chip, and it's like not going to break your chip. And something about eating it cold to me brings back so many memories. And so that whole, all right, this recipe, and you compare it to other cheese dips on the shelf today, I don't know of any right now that have a product that is so smooth when it's still cold, or even room temp. It's like you have to heat it up.
Yeah.
Man, this stuff, you can heat it up if you want when you use it as a topping or sauce, but cold is the way to go. Like
straight out the fridge.
Straight out the fridge.
Nobody has time to wait for it to get warm, and you want to just jump in and eat it.
Yes.
You take it out. You want to get you some chips.
Yes.
Grab a straw.
Turn the game on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grab a straw.
Yeah.
So what'd you find to be the biggest challenge from taking your dad's homemade recipe and then turning that into something that's actually in a package that you could sell?
Oh, man. If I had a list of the hardest things, right? Because there's so many. But at first, it's the reason I think people will have this idea or have this vision, and like it stops there, because they're like, well, how do I get a barcode, or how do you come up with an ingredient statement and nutrition facts?
Yeah, get a label created. Yeah.
That seems like so far out of reach that I think that's what keeps people from doing it. But that was what I thought was going to be the hardest. That was the easiest part, right? And eventually it's, all right, well, how do I make it and double it? Well, that's not enough. How do I quadruple it? How do I times 100 make this recipe? And you can't without serious adjustments and testing. And so I just spent a lot of time before I even told anyone about what I was doing. My wife knew, my close friends knew, but even some like my family didn't know. And one day it's like, all right, I got this product. It's ready to go. It had this fully retail ready container, barcode, all the things, because I wanted people to take me seriously. And I didn't want them to think it was like a farmer's market item, right? And I just launched it one day, and people were like, what have you been doing?
Where did this come from?
Right. Probably my employer was like, really? Would you have time to do all that? Nights and weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the clock.
No, absolutely not. No lunch breaks. And so I think, that piece came with its own challenges, but really the biggest challenges and the most heartbreaking challenge is, proving that this works. It's getting sold here in Memphis, and it's growing outward, and people are buying it. But then all of a sudden you start getting leads from, bigger retail. It's like, man, you have this dream of getting into Walmart, Publix, and Kroger and all that. So it happens so fast. In a 2-year span, it's like, man, I went from, one store to 10 to 200 and then to 2,000. Like, it felt like overnight. And then I lost almost all of them in a 3-month span. And that was the most heartbreaking moment, because, You think about like, oh, I'm so persistent. I'm so resilient. I can do this. No one's going to stop me. And then you get proven wrong. Like, think about that. You know, it's like all the things you believed in your heart were true and that were going to work. It's all of a sudden they come to a screeching halt. And you're like, do I give up and bring on all this debt personally? Or do I keep fighting and proving that this is bigger than what today is bringing?
What causes you to lose accounts like that? Is it a supply issue? Is it a price issue? Or?
Man, there's a lot of things. I think one of the main ones is like I said yes to everyone. And what I mean by saying yes is, can you do it at this cost? If so, then we'll bring you on. Can you do these BOGOs, eight of them throughout the year? And it's like, you're giving away product. But to me, I'm like, well, you know, these retailers are giving me an opportunity. I'm just going to say yes, and it'll all work out. And my wife hates when I say that. I'm like, everything's going to work out. I still believe that, but there's some specifics to that have to take place in order for it to work out.
Yeah, you got to make some money.
You got to make money.
To.
Yeah,
you're not going to survive.
That's right. Admittedly, I was never a math person, right? So it's like I'm doing all my margin calculations on this Excel spreadsheet, and I think I'm good. Well, there was a decimal in the wrong place. Something as simple as that screwed me up so bad, to where not only was I giving this product away, the more I sold, the more money I lost. Go figure, right? And so I did not have the help that I needed. I did not have the resources I needed. I tried to do it all by myself, not because I didn't want to hire. How was I going to hire anyone? I couldn't afford to hire anybody. So it's like,
you were it, one employee.
I was it. Yeah. And I mean, technically still today, I'm like the only employee on the books, but I have outsourced everything to the point where I'm like, I know I'm not the person that needs to be scheduling freight. I'm going to hire that. I'm going to outsource that and let them do a much better job than I ever would. And I can do other things that I can excel at.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do.
It's very hard because it's your baby.
Yeah,
it is. And
you want to touch it, you know?
Absolutely. You want to be involved. And it's like, I've never considered myself a micromanager, but I had no choice. There's no one to delegate stuff to, you know? And I think where there was a turning point where it went from like, man, I did all this by myself on paper, but I had a lot of people helping me, right? There was a turning point from like, yeah, I'm a one-man show and we were able to get into all these grocery stores to like, now I'm embarrassed because I have all of this and I'm not a sustainable company, and people don't look at that as like impressive anymore. They're like, yeah, he's not going to make it to the 5-year mark.
Yeah. So how did you go about getting those accounts and getting in those stores in the first place? Because I've found that to be a huge challenge from somebody that doesn't know, you know, has never done anything like that wants to get some distribution or to get in multiple stores of the same chain.
I think it was my attitude and my story that had to really allow people to like see, man, any other day we wouldn't talk to this person, but this guy is pulling on our heartstrings a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And
so you would go sit down in front of them, get a face-to-face.
Absolutely. And I would do everything I can. I would cold call. I showed up to Kroger's door. I would go into an individual Kroger store and talk to the checkout person. Like, I started at the bottom level and tried to figure out, and learned a lot, you know, how much product did I give away to people that had no influence on this decision? And I wouldn't change any of it, because that's what paved the way for this. That's what gave me the grit to figure out, like, okay, this worked here, but didn't work there. Why? And what I mean by that is, like, the decision makers for each of these retailers, it could be at the store level all the way up to the corporate level, right? And when I eventually figured out getting to corporate was the right answer, it was like, you got to get to corporate. Well, man, I used LinkedIn. I used just Google. I'd go on their websites and start finding like Deli Buyer, or, you know, who's this person? And I'd cold call them. And believe it or not, most of these accounts I got from cold calling or sending a LinkedIn message, which is, I know, old school.
Yeah.
But that's how I got it. And it's like, once I got their attention, I was able to tell my story and say, just give us a chance. We're veteran owned. And it's like, that helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah.
Absolutely. The How to Barbecue Right podcast is brought to you by our friends at Primo Grills. Shell, Did you know that Primo is the only ceramic grill made right here in the good old USA?
What? Are you telling me that Primo Grills are proudly crafted here in the USA, ensuring top-notch quality and support for local craftsmanship?
I sure am. Plus, Primo Grill not only delivers mouth-watering flavor, but because of their innovative oval design and superior ceramic construction, Primo Grills also gives you a ton of cooking versatility.
Whether you're smoking low and slow or searing a steak to perfection, Primo Grills gives you the consistent heat distribution for mouth-watering results every time.
What she said, y'all. Y'all visit PrimoGrill.com and check them out. So let's switch gears a little bit. I want to know about the brand and Arbo's. So what would you say makes Arbo's different from all the other cheese dips that's out there?
Oh, gosh.
Well, it tastes better.
It absolutely does.
That's it. All right, next question.
No.
No.
And you can eat it at room temp or eat it straight out of the fridge, yeah.
That's right. I mean, I think it's just so versatile. And I didn't have to come up with the versatile component of it. Like I told you earlier, we used to just take leftover steak and dip it in it. It's like we were dipping anything in it, right? And
it's good on anything, like Frank's.
That's right. Yeah. And so I think that for one, it's like that consistency. It's always going to be smooth, creamy, eat it hot or cold. And then we use some spices and seasonings. It's nothing crazy, right? But we actually use them, and we use enough of them because cheese is the vessel for the flavor. Cheese alone is delicious. So if you already have a delicious product or delicious item and you can make it even better, go for it, right? And so some of the cheese dips most or all that I've had out there, because I try them all, I'm like, this is bland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cheese, I'm gonna eat it, but it doesn't have flavor, it doesn't have boldness, it doesn't have the spice or the kick where it's not going to set your mouth on fire, but it's like, this has got flavor.
So it sounds like you did have some hard times getting started, but was there that one like aha moment or surreal moment where you said, man, whatever I'm doing now, it's actually working? Did you have one of those like light bulb type moments?
Absolutely. And it was right in front of my face the entire time. And I can go back and say that I started this because I love food, or I love this cheese dip. Yeah, that's what gave me the start. But really what it came to is like, this is a way for me to not just fulfill a dream, but I love giving back, and I love giving away this cheese dip.
Yeah.
We said earlier, I'm like, you can't make money that way, but I don't care about the money. I care about putting a smile on someone's face by like seeing the first time someone's tried it. When I see their reaction, I'm like, I still get chills, right? And people tell me like, or message me and say, hey, we finally got to try it. This stuff's incredible. That means so much to me, because it's like I'm able to bring a piece of my family or my heritage or, these recipe to someone else. And if that makes them happy for a moment in time, I'm like,
it's all worth it.
Yeah. Call me a people pleaser all day. Right.
Yeah. There's
that's
nothing
just
wrong with that, man. But the world needs a lot more of it, for real.
Yeah. So it's just about community and what the opportunities have come just from doing this, and, demonstrating to my kids. I'll, finish that answer with, how am I going to sit there and tell my kids that they can be whatever they want to be, do whatever they want to do in life, if I wasn't willing to do that myself? So like I'm sure Michael is looking up, and you may not know and understand it, looking up to you, but it's like one day they're really going to appreciate, respect, and hopefully do something bold.
No, that's great. That's great. So I know your dad made the original. Now you have several different flavors. How many do you actually have out?
We have the original, spicy, and queso blanco. So what we did was that original that just has like a very mild kick, nothing strong heat level. People kept saying, man, you could make this spicier. And of course, when you're early on, you just hear things. You're like, that's what I got to do. Well, thankfully, I did that time. There's been some other ones where I'm like, why did I want to do that? But so what we did was took the original and we just cranked up the heat, right? Added some cayenne pepper, made it smokier, and some other heat. And it makes it like this medium touch where people that like don't tolerate spicy very well love it.
Yeah.
And then the people that are like, oh, it could be hotter. I'm like, well, then go add some Franks, or
kick it as high as you want.
Go add whatever else. Yeah, you can do that. And so that's where the spicy came. That was an easy one. The hardest one was that same voice or people saying, "Oh, this is really good, but you could actually have a queso blanco." And
I like that. I like the cheese dip from the Mexican restaurant.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm like, of course, that doesn't have to be something my dad made. It's a good product, and it fits very well with the brand. And like we talked about, I love like Hispanic restaurant queso all day. That
Everybody
would be
does.
the only thing I order, and I'll leave happy. But I knew that there was going to be a challenge because every white queso I've bought at the store is like glue. It's like, man, there's no flavor. You want that same experience, and it's just, I've never had it. So that's why I spent a full year in my kitchen. I mean, cheese dip is everywhere. It's like, Malcolm, it's in the creases of the cabinet. It's everywhere. My house smells like there's like a scent of Arbo. Just
cheese dip.
Yeah, like, someone that smokes at home, it's like that. Whoever buys this house, if we sell it, it's going to be like, no, we're out.
It's awful cheesy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I just spent a full year like trying to perfect this to where it would taste as close as it could and be that consistent. I can eat this still at room temp. It's not going to break my chip when I dip it in it. And I don't need to go get Hispanic queso takeout, or I don't have to go there to get that. Yeah. It's right here.
So the consistency of it, is it solid when you get it out of the fridge, or is it is ready to dip?
There is something about like a white cheese that is more dense than the yellow. Or maybe it's because we're using tomatoes and chilies blended into the yellow that gives it more of a smoother, but it's like white cheese for whatever reason. I'm not a food scientist, so someone debunk this, but I'm like, it is a thicker cheese. However, we just made this to where you can still eat this cold, and it's smooth and creamy, and it just pours on perfectly. And I'm like, man, I don't know how I did this. I don't know how. Like, if someone said, "Hey, start over and do it again," I'd be like, I don't know what I did. I didn't take notes.
Yeah.
So was it a challenge to take those recipes to like a co-packer or somebody that's going to, package it large scale for you, and to get them to translate yours to something you could actually put on a shelf? Because I found that to be a challenge.
Very much so. And I'm sure you've probably, with all the SKUs you have, Malcolm, like how many times have you had to go back and revise, or, R&D, all those things? But
it takes months.
Yeah. It's
sometimes longer.
I say you got to give yourself a year. A full year.
And
that's
absolutely
not from concept. That's from when you start working with somebody going to large scale it.
Yeah, you have a recipe ready and you want to work with them. Yeah.
That's it. And you're like, okay, we nailed down the taste. We nailed down the flavor, the consistency. Now I got to go let it sit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to go put it in my pantry, or I got to go, in my case, I'm like, I got to go let it sit in the fridge. And this product is not going to move like it would in distribution and get shaken up. Is it going to congeal? Is it, or not congeal? Separate.
Yeah.
How's it going to taste 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? So you talk about a full year. It's like, yeah, that you have to do that. You cannot take a shortcut there. And so you get 2 months, 3 months away from like what you think is the formula, and it's like a brick. You know what I mean? You're like, well, I'm starting all over. And so I'd say I got lucky in some places and got unlucky in others where I'm trying different cheeses and it's just not working, and, pulling in some consulting on the side and letting them get me out of my own way.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry. Have I lost it?
Just working with the co-packer.
Yeah.
Working with the co-packer.
Yeah.
Taking it from something that you made and putting it on that shelf.
So the whole co-packer thing, the earliest part was a nightmare because, hey, I've got this recipe, and they're like, move along. We don't have time to spend on a concept that potentially isn't going to work, and then now we're out of money. So it's like all the no's just like forced me into like figuring this out and finding someone. And just when I was about to give up, because I'm like, no one's going to make this dang cheese dip for me, I was about to give up. I get a call from a Cisco rep. He's like, hey, I got a lead for you. There's this co-packer in Tupelo, Mississippi that would be open to making your product. And I went down there and visited with him and showed it to him. And like, they didn't ask any questions. I was like, all right, so I appreciate thanks for your time, And they're like, when do you want to start? And I broke down because I'd put so much time and effort. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to do this? And that's how I got started. But then it's like with each co-packer, now you get into the challenge of how do I make it how do they make it the same so that it tastes the same? And that if, it's sold in a store that overlaps with the other co-packer, people aren't going to be like, oh, this is different, or it's not the same. And, or you're cutting corners. It's like, no, we're trying to perfect this. Trust me. That's all we are trying to do.
Yeah. Well, before we go any further, I got to know what's in that box, man. It looks like an ammo box.
It is, man. I thought you'd never ask. So I put together, we'll call it like break in case of emergency. This is no emergency.
Emergency cheese dip.
This is more of like, an Arbo's arsenal with some killer hogs part of it. And I threw some stuff together last minute. So it's like, okay, here's my survival knife. We got some plates and everything, but I picked up these pickles.
Oh, okay.
And
I've seen those before.
You have. And I talk about like snacking, how I love snacking and how I love just like the appetizers. I could get full off of a cheese and sausage plate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me, that is just all I need. So, man, I got everything.
From crackers.
Oh, yeah. Crackers.
No, this ain't government issue, right?
No, they're not government issue.
Jack Daniels. Oh, man.
I know. I got 2 types of sausages here, and we've got the barbecue sauce. So
this is a great emergency kit.
Yeah.
That's it. And look, these are intended to be napkins. This one comes in the MRE, the meal ready to eat military. But what you'll find is this is used for the other end. We've got it all ready. We can dive into that after the podcast.
Okay. I like your style. Man. I don't see any cheese though. That's the one thing.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, like my friends listen to this and be like, yep, that's Andrew. Yeah, shows up to have what the main thing. So it's all right down.
It's all in the cooler. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get into that after a while, but I love that box. It's cool.
I love it, man. It's awesome.
That's definitely an MRE I can get down on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to call those people.
Yeah. Well, today, so, we love it with chips. It's great. Like you said, you can take it right out of the refrigerator and eat it with chips. And that's
how we usually eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I eat it. But before we came down here, you went down to the smokehouse with us and I did some recipes for you using your product, your cheese dip. I did my version of Mexican restaurant chicken, cheese, and rice. And then I did something that I've never done that was a brilliant idea, queso pizza dip. I mean, those 2 recipes that were just phenomenal. And your Arbo's cheese dip was the star of the show in both of them.
There's nothing I can say that would give any credit to me on that, because it's like I showed up with some Arbos. You had the recipes laid out. And I'm like, what in the world is this? This is so good. Why didn't I think of this before? The chicken, cheese, and rice staple always. And then that pizza dip is top 3 in my opinion. I'm like, I don't know what else I can make with Arbos. It's going to ever be this good.
That was my next question. I mean, we did learn something. You got to let that pizza cool off for about 15 or 20 minutes, or it will peel the hide off the roof of your mouth and tongue.
Yeah, I lost a layer on the tongue, but I'll recover.
You think you'd learn that after all these years?
I can see. My problem is I want to jump in. I don't have the patience. After we've smelled it cooking, we did all the ingredients, put it together, smelled it cooking, and it comes out, and it's going to be good. I want to dive in.
It was worth it.
So explain the chicken cheese dip. Or no, the chicken, cheese, and rice.
So chicken, cheese, and rice is probably one of the most basic Mexican restaurant items, and that's not really.
It's probably their most popular item.
Tyler, do you know what it's really called? It's like chicken.
The white girl special.
It's like pollo rosa or something like that. I don't know how to say it. I don't know.
Pollo rosa.
Whatever it is on the menu. Do you know?
No, because you open those menus and there's 16 pages. long.
Yeah.
You're like,
well. And so that's why we call it chicken, cheese, and rice.
Right.
And every little white girl that I know. So we call it the white girl special.
Yeah.
But it's basically Mexican rice, like Spanish style rice, with grilled pieces of chicken smothered in their white queso blanco.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And so when I do it at home, I take it to another level. I make my own Spanish rice or Mexican style rice, but then I also saute some vegetables, and I use the boneless, skinless thighs. I season them with the gringo. I usually grill them off it's like burnt ass chicken because, I'm trying to get those little caramelized bits on it. I want all that flavor. I want those seasonings coming alive on that chicken, and you can't ruin a boneless, skinless thigh.
No.
I don't care if you cook them to 190, 195, they're still fine. They're still juicy. And that's all I did. I grilled that, and I made that rice. I sauteed those vegetables. And when I put it together, I took 1 container of the queso blanco, added
I thought it was the regular cheese dip.
No, it was the regular cheese dip. It wasn't the queso blanco. The restaurants, they use a white cheese dip.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to use the original because that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
Hey.
I grew up eating yellow cheese dip. But I took the sauteed vegetables. It was like, I call it the Gringo Trinity.
Oh yeah.
It's red bell pepper, onion, and then a whole jalapeno diced up. You saute all that with a little olive oil and butter, season it with a little Gringo. And I toss that with the rice and then a whole container of the original Arbos and just mix it up. And man, it's not soupy, but it coats. The rice is so warm, the vegetables are hot, it melts that cheese dip all over it, and it's fine like that. But then I took those boneless, skinless thighs that we grilled off from the Primo, sliced them up into strips, put them all over the top, and then drizzled more original Arbo's cheese dip over the top, and then just garnished it with a little bit of cilantro. That was it. It was simple, but man, you tell us about those chips you brought. That's a local tortilla chip, isn't it?
Yeah, Los Delicios. They've got a couple restaurants in Memphis, and I think they are notorious for their tortilla chips. And I've tried to, suggest to Marco, I'm like, dude, you got to go as far as you can. And again, like I tell people, just because I'm doing it, it's like misery loves company. I don't know. Sorry, Marco. But I'm like, these people have to try these chips. You have to. And that's what I used when I ship samples. I'm like, why would I ship something that I'm going to say don't like, but I'm going to give them the best vessel that they can. And these chips are just incredible. The crunch, the gold, like the appearance, it's like this was just made right now. And they're just phenomenal. So
that was my first time trying them. They were really good. And normally after chips like that have been sitting in a bag and, on the shelf for a while, they're not nearly as good, but they were.
It still tastes like they were fresh.
Fryer.
That's it. Yeah.
They don't have that stale grease flavor or whatever. No. It's just a good chip.
Yeah, that's stale grease.
They're not too salty. It's like,
but they're dense enough to stand up. Like you could have dipped them down in the rice and ate it like a nacho.
That's it.
When I normally eat them, like at a restaurant, they give you 2 or 3 flour tortillas. And so I like using those little street taco size, and you can just put some chicken, cheese, and rice all on your taco, make you a little taco, fold it up, and cram it
That's
down.
it. I love that, like that texture of what we made, the chicken, cheese, and rice, and the chip. So it's like you got that soft, still like texture, but that chip is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, crunch takes it to another level.
Oh, man, it's the little things in life, right?
But then we went to the pizza dip.
Oh.
And the pizza dip, I've done a pizza dip before, and it's excellent. It's almost like, what'd you call it, a crustless deep dish pizza?
Yeah, I was like, this is Chicago pizza.
It's got all the elements.
Shame, man.
I started with like a pound of Italian sausage. You brown that up, saute some bell pepper and some onion, block of cream cheese, room temp, a little bit of mozzarella, a little bit of parm, a little bit of Italian stallion. Start mixing that up, and then pour the queso blanco in that. So it creams the
whole container.
A whole 16 ounces, right?
Yeah. Or 12 ounces.
12 ounces. Yeah. Okay, 12-ounce container of the queso blanco.
Yeah.
You mix all that up and kind of smooth it out. And it's thick. It's thick in the and I did this like in a cast iron enamel because I was going to put it on the grill. You could do it in a casserole dish, or you could do it in the oven if you wanted to. But you spread all that out. You top it with a little more mozzarella, and then add your pepperoni. And then you put it, all you got to do is cook it about 30 minutes till that cheese is melted. Those pepperonis are good and greasy and starting to get crunchy on the edges.
Man.
And it's like cheesy lava underneath it.
I'm like, just thinking about it, and like, man, I wish I could have that. And I just had it an hour ago. But I said it then, I'm like, the way you put the pepperonis on top to give it the crisp, because that texture, that piece, it changes the flavor.
It does. It does.
Like my daughter eats pepperonis only if they're crispy.
Yeah, that's the best way. Yeah.
Like when you said it earlier. You put it. Some pizza restaurants will put that pepperoni on the bottom, and then stack cheese on top and other stuff on top, and the pepperoni never really cooks.
Doesn't.
It just
it's
kind of
soggy.
Yeah, it's soggy. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You don't get that. I want that almost like a pepperoni bacon.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's crunchy a little bit.
When I worked at Papa John's, we would put just pepperonis on a tray and run it through the oven, and then get little crispy, crackery.
chips?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so good.
I know people say like food and taste is subjective, but that's wrong. Like we can all
That's,
agree
yeah, that's
that
not
a
subjective.
non-crispy, a non,
If
well-cooked
it's wrong, I don't
pepperoni-
want to be right.
That's right. That's right. I'll fight that fight.
But that one, we served that one with the chips, and we sliced up a baguette and just a little olive oil.
It was both. It was good both ways. Yeah.
I like both. I like the texture that the bread, because it had like a bready texture, a little
Yeah.
chewiness. You get that glutinous from it.
Yeah.
But then the chip added a crunch element. I was like, oh man,
Just take me home, man.
that's
That-
football food all day. That's you take that to a party, you're gonna be the hero. It's gonna go
Seriously.
fast. Like you saw how much damage we did too.
Yeah. And at first I was like, man, he's really loading up that pepperoni. But then they kind of shrank a little
Yeah.
bit and it was perfect. But every time I was selfishly was like, I'm going to get a pepperoni bite.
Yeah.
That person who like cuts the best part of the cake out. I'm like, that's me.
I got an idea for what I do next time on that. I'm always improving stuff. Man.
Oh,
Got to.
man.
But I would take
Beautiful.
like one of those sticks of pepperoni like you get in the deli and then cube it up into little cubes and work that on the inside. So you did have pepperoni on the inside.
Yeah.
Different texture, but you got the crunchy cooked one on the top. That way you get double pepperoni.
We were wanting the cuppy pepperoni so you get extra crispy, but
couldn't find
them.
Yeah.
But y'all's, the way you do it is just, it's great. I told you, like, if I didn't have something, I'd be like, oh, I'm not starting this until.
So just like off the top of your head, what's a couple of your favorite ways to use the dip besides just dipping it with chips?
Man, so I know this is like probably not the most gourmet thing in the world, but they sell these frozen. They're like frozen burritos, steak and chicken burritos. They're at Kroger and Walmart in a yellow package. I can't even think of the name, but I go for the steak one, and that is my absolute favorite thing. So it's like, hey, you don't have to make anything elaborate, but I take those frozen. They're $1.
Yeah,
probably not that great.
Yeah, my kid loves
in college.
Yeah,
lived on that.
Dude, they just know how to like that shredded beef that's in there, and then with Arbo's original on the top. I'm like, that to me is my go-to. But if I'm going to church it up, I like to take the white and cook like that macaroni style. Doesn't have to be, the shells, but anything that's going to soak up cheese, a noodle that's going to soak up cheese, take the white. After I cook the noodles al dente, of course, al dente.
Yeah.
Then I add the Arbos, and then I hit it with the mozzarella. And you got like the stringiness, you got the jalapeno, like that mild jalapeno flavor. It's not spicy coming through in the mac and cheese, and it's so simple, but it's like,
oh, that sounds.
I know.
I've never thought of doing that. It's a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Why not use it to make a mac and cheese like that?
That is it. And,
dude, that's genius.
And you can use the original or the spicy to do that.
Either way
it's like,
works.
Yeah.
The Blanco would work.
Absolutely. It's all like
do chicken, cheese, and pasta.
There we go. Yeah.
We're doing a crossover recipe.
I know. I've seen people do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I saw a pancake one time with Arbos on it. Y'all are killing my brain.
That's a little too far for me.
Yeah, cornbread pancake with
like a fritter.
like a cornbread fritter with some shredded beef and then the cheese dip drizzled all over it. Oh man,
I like dipping fries in it.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It is good with cheese fries.
Baked potatoes.
Is there any?
Baked potato.
That's a good idea too. Yeah. What's the wildest thing your customers told you they've done with it? Ever done cheese dip wrestling?
Speaking of wrestling, we sponsored a wrestling
That's so cool.
like in Indianapolis last year, and y'all go to our social media and look at these ridiculous videos and photos. I was dressed up. I tried to get in the ring and everything, and I got like kicked in the chest.
Hey, wait a minute. This ain't fake as I thought it was.
No, it's not. It's not. And it's like, I'm 40, man. I can't play that off like it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
I just like
just broke a rib.
Walked out. I left. I didn't go back in.
Keep the cheese dip. Yeah. Good.
No, the craziest thing I probably would say is like mixing it with desserts. I've seen people do it on ice cream. And
no way.
Yeah. I mean, I get like the salty sweet combo because I'm all about exploring life, but there's just, I have a limit too.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Cheese dip and ice cream.
I know.
That's wild. That's out there.
I've seen a friend dip an Oreo.
Yeah.
That's a little, it's a little much for me.
About that. I think we talked about it earlier, the Philly cheesesteak idea with it.
Oh,
But
that's it.
that one's one that I've got to try that.
Oh,
There's no way.
man.
Even if you did like the Philly cheese sliders,
Yeah.
you serve the cheese dip at the
Yeah.
dip
Ooh, that's a good idea.
as your sauce. It would be so good.
And I'm like, why? I can't think of anything for dinner tonight. I have all these great. Y'all have all these great ideas.
Yeah. Well, we got them.
Yeah. We can tell you how to eat.
Yeah. Do you have any drinks that pair with it? I see you got Jack Daniels in the rocks glasses here.
Whiskey and cheese,
Whiskey
wine
and
and cheese,
wine.
beer and cheese.
It all goes.
Oh yeah,
Margaritas and
margaritas. Yeah, you name
That's
it.
the first one that comes to mind, dude.
Yeah.
Shell put that question on here for me. So she must be thinking margaritas.
Margarita and cheese dip is,
Oh, you don't need it. You don't even need to order entree.
yeah.
I know.
You
Little
get 2
guacamole.
jumbo margaritas, top shelf, on the rocks with salt.
Yeah.
A bottle of Pacifico or Modelo, and then a large cheese dip, multiple baskets of chips.
And a large guacamole.
Yeah.
You got to get the guacamole.
Y'all are killing me right now.
You wouldn't think we just ate pizza.
I know.
Are there any go-to recipes that you use at home? Like dinner recipes or?
It's like we have it in the fridge. What makes me mad is my kids will go into like my fridge for samples and open up a new one when we already have an open one in there. So I'm like, yeah, it's going to get used, right? So the most common thing, it doesn't matter, any kind of vegetable, okra, asparagus, broccoli, is just poured on there for the kids.
Yeah.
And for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not.
Dude, that's the way to get them to eat Brussels sprouts right there.
That is it. And just just tricking them.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. That's all
right.
my parents did it.
That's my go. Like easiest thing for me to do.
If it hadn't been for Velveeta, I would have never ate a green
I
vegetable.
I know.
For real. Well, now I want to talk about something a little more serious now. I know before you started selling the cheese dip, you briefly touched on your service. I want to know if you could go in and tell us a little bit about what you did.
Yeah.
What was your military career that led you to be able to sell cheese dip now?
I was a cook. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. If they no disrespect to my cooks out there, I love y'all. But if I would have had my way, I probably would have gone that route. But I joined in 2007, and I think I was inspired by the events of 9/11, but more so, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and I need a guaranteed job, so I'm gonna raise my right hand, see what happens. And I ended up getting selected for aviation. So that meant that after I commissioned in the Army as a second lieutenant, I got sent straight to flight school in Fort Rucker, Alabama. They call Mother Rucker. And from there, I learned to fly helicopter, obviously, but then I picked or selected the Apache, which is like the gunship,
Wow.
right? It's a flying tank.
Yeah.
It's a big gun you strap to your back, right?
What's it? The 50 cal on it on the
It's
front?
got a bigger,
Bigger?
30 millimeter
Wow.
cannon. And it's like it fires off these rounds, and they're explosive rounds. So it's like shooting off little grenades. And so that gun will just sling to your monocle on your eye. It has crosshairs on it. So it's like if you're flying along 100 knots and someone shoots at you, you just look at them, pop, 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 pop. It's crazy.
Oh, man.
This technology on that aircraft is insane. Then it's got Hellfire missiles and rockets, and
How many men crew is on one?
it's a two-man ship.
You and a co-pilot.
Yep. And it's like both of us are pilots. We both fly, but the front seater's job is to be the co-pilot gunner. He's searching for targets. He's communicating with the ground forces, making sure we know where the friendlies are relative to the enemy and that there's no collateral damage. And so the back seater, he's usually flying the aircraft, managing the fight, the battlefield. And it's just, man, communication is very important in that helicopter because we don't sit left seat, right seat, like every other aircraft. We're back and forth. So if we're like, hey, do you have the controls? And if I think he says, yeah, I let go of the controls. Who's flying the helicopter?
Yeah.
Well, it's got a flight management computer. It'll stay straight and level for a little bit, but then it starts to veer off. But, it was such a crazy experience that when you're young, you're just like, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Right. And, I deployed to Iraq and deployed to Afghanistan and, served for 10 years doing all that. But
So you flew missions and everything.
flew. I think I have 2,000 hours and, 1,200 of those are combat hours or flight hours. And I don't know how many missions we did, but you would think that it would just be like the movies, just like constant action. And it's not. It's hours of boredom followed by seconds of excitement and thrill, right? And it's just like a firefighter. Firefighters want to do their job, right? Attack pilots want to do their job. And so that was our thing, is just protecting the guys on the ground, and any opportunity we could have to engage targets and stuff like that. It's like, that's what we train for. It's what we live for. But that comes with a cost, right? And it's not a cost that you think about when you're in the moment or when you're doing it. It's years later, and things that happen, or how you evolve and mature as a person, and you're like, I can't believe I did that. I have to wear that on my moral conscience for the rest of my life. And do I still think I did the right thing? Yes, I'm protecting my brothers and sisters on the ground, but human life is human life at the end of the day. And that's the burden that we carry. And that's why transitioning service members and veterans, they may not feel it right away, but every single one goes through this, where they're going to hit that wall of, I just did crazy things in my life, and now what? And they're numb. They're just going through the motions, or the worst case scenario, there's the veteran suicide rates are absolutely insane. And so we've all gone through this. My saving grace was Arbo's cheese dip. Like, that's why I started this, is because I had this beautiful family, this wonderful job, but I hated myself. And just not to be too, but I'm like, I'm not happy. And I don't see this ending well unless I do something about it. And that's how it all came to life. And so that's why it's so important for me. All I do in terms of philanthropy is support other veteran nonprofits. And they're all like, okay, merging vets and players, which is that transitioning service member going from uniform to civilian, and that professional athlete going from jersey to civilian or regular guy, right? It's like they go through that crisis of, I just lost my identity. What do I do now? And so it's like, I support them. We support the Travis Manion Foundation, just these incredible causes. And I told you about Warriors Wingman, that gifted me a British lab just because I served, and they want to get me outside and with nature. And so there's so many things out there that are for veterans. It's just, how do you reach them all? How do we touch them all? And honestly, Malcolm, like, I know that y'all live and die by food, and like, having me on to talk about this is meaningful, because it's going to reach people that veterans that otherwise like may not know about these things, or these healing opportunities that they can get involved in. And so I do thank y'all for giving me a voice to do that.
Oh man, no, we thank you for coming on, dude, and everything you've done. I mean, we laugh and joke and have a good time on our podcast, but what you're talking about is real. It's real life, and it's affecting all of us, really. And I mean, we see how the veterans get treated when they come back. It's not all parades and ticker tape and all that, like it should be.
Yeah.
It's that's something that weighs on you hard. And I mean, it shows in the way you're doing your business and what you're putting yourself in, how you position yourself, what you've learned. I'm sure every day can be a struggle. I mean, but to have something that, like, for a goal for you to work towards your brand, towards your product, and to put all that hard work and effort into it, you're translating that from taking what you learned in the military. I mean,
man, it is. And that's why I said earlier, it started with, I love food, and I got this cheese dip, man.
So, I mean,
we've noticed a lot of military guys, once they get out of service, get into cooking, a lot of barbecue. They find it calming, and it gives them something to focus on. And,
you don't know how many times I've had an email saying, hey man, your videos help because, I was just in a bad place or whatever. You don't know what everybody's going through when they come back. The average person, civilian, will never know. But for those guys to come back and to say, hey, man, we've watched one of your cooking videos, and I could sit outside and I could start a fire and watch this dial for hours, and it takes me somewhere else. And I think that's what it is. I like to consider it it's barbecue therapy. It does it to me when I go sit. If I'm having a bad day and I can go outside and cook something and just chill out,
Yeah.
get things out of my mind and worry about what the meat's on there and all that, or hang out with my buddies and do it even.
Man.
The whole support structure of barbecue is great for that too.
Your community is, like I said, it welcomed me with open arms. I'm cheese dip, right? But what I noticed was that how well y'all stick together, and how supportive you are of up and coming people. It doesn't matter if they're just starting or they're higher than you. And what you guys are doing, it's like, yeah, you are a hero to so many people. You, Heath, all of the names. And the fact that, they say, oh, don't meet your heroes because you're going to be disappointed. That's not the case with you guys. It's like y'all welcome people, you open up to them, you help them. And I'm like, this is my community. Like, this is where I belong. Stop trying to fit into anything else.
Barbecue is the community of barbecue, and barbecue people are pretty awesome. I will say that.
Some of the best. I say it's the best in the world.
Absolutely.
I mean, we friends and family foremost. Even back in competition days when we were in there. I mean, yeah, of course we were competing against each other, and you want to beat the next guy and all that. And like I sell products. A lot of my buddies sell products. You'd think we're competing for same shelf space,
and you are essentially, but
we are. But
yeah.
we're still friends first.
Yeah.
And then we look out for each other. We try to help each other, or at least, I mean, I think the majority of people do in it.
Yeah,
you're going to have bad apples and everything. And luckily, I hadn't came across that many at all in barbecue.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there's some out there that people have some stories. But I think the camaraderie of it, and the helpingness, and the kindness, and then just being a good person, man.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
because everybody's going through something different. I mean, it really is. And when you can put a smile or change somebody's attitude, you don't know how important that is to somebody.
Oh man, I learned. You realize it every single day. Life goes on that you're like, this is way bigger than barbecue, way bigger than cheese dip. This is something that if I have the ability to make an impact in someone else's life, like I win.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And cheese dip and barbecue kind of have that same thing where they can make your day better,
Oh, yeah. Mad, angry, sad.
Yeah.
How could you be sad? I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Well, man, I know Veterans Day is coming up. Once again, thank you, Andrew, for your service and all your military brothers and sisters out there. Is there any message you'd like to get out or say before we end this today? I mean,
I want to say thank you for giving me again this opportunity. This is something I don't take lightly, and
thanks for coming on.
I'm honored to be here, spending time with y'all. And today's cooking session was so much fun. I learned a lot. As Brian Wynn would say, probably couldn't execute on any of those things we learned today.
Oh, you got those two.
Yeah, you said earlier, like, you can't mess up chicken thighs, and he'll be like, yeah, look at this picture he sent me. Yeah, but this has just been a heck of a day. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, man. I got to come up with some new cheese dip recipes. We got to do it again.
Heck yeah.
Well, if anybody was interested in trying Arbo's cheese dip, and it's something like once you try it, that'll be your cheese dip. Oh. But where would they find it?
Oh, you know what? I've told you I'm the worst person at selling my product.
Yeah, where can we find it?
Yeah, I'm like, there's no cheese dip anywhere to be seen. I'm like, what? So Arbo's is sold in Kroger and Walmart, so select stores, right? And mostly throughout the Southeast in the deli section. I should start with that. It's in the deli.
Yeah, don't go looking for it with the regular cheese.
Correct. Look for the quality cheese dip in the deli. Look for the Arbos, right? All over Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi. Just go to our website at arbosdip.com. We've got a store locator that's updated. Punch in your address or zip code. It'll tell you the closest place next to you. And also in Hy-Vee in the Midwest. That was kind of a nice surprise. So
you're going to, brother,
do you ship
what you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ship?
Oh, yes.
People buy it online?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can go to our website again, arbosdip.com. Arbosdip.com. I think. Yeah, that's it. And you can go to the order online, and it'll take you to a third-party website and order from there.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Well, but before we leave, take one out so people can see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got that. I mean, we've been sitting here talking about cheese dip for an hour. We didn't even show. But did you bring 3 with you or just 2? Okay. Well, I'm going to let you, before we get out of here, I want to let people see what they look like on camera. And if you watch the videos that come out, I'm sure we'll have those out pretty soon that you'll be seeing me use these in action. But it's a 12-ounce container. Comes with a lid, the little plastic seal on it. I'm not going to ask you to open them up, but the label.
Set it on top of that box.
Yeah,
There we
you
go.
see them there you go, right there.
Boom.
That's what you look for. Look for the red, white, and blue
Yeah.
Arbos. And go ahead and try the original. The spicy's great, but you can spice up the original yourself if you like it hot. The white queso is legit. And I guarantee you, he just pulled those out of his cooler. They're ready to eat right now.
Oh, yeah, they're going. They're staying here. So, thank y'all.
But yeah, with Andrew, thanks, brother. We appreciate you, man. And, we're here for you. If we can ever do anything to help you, you're always welcome. How to Barbecue Right.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Malcolm.
All right. Tyler, tell folks where they can find us.
If y'all are hanging out this weekend and cooking barbecue, make sure y'all head on over to facebook.com/H2Q community. Post your questions because we always ask them here on the podcast first and foremost. And if we don't get to your question, then there's tons of people that are super qualified to answer it in our awesome little community that we've been talking about here today.
All right. Shell, where can
Maybe we should do a giveaway that includes
Arbos.
Arbos. Yeah.
Sounds like a fantastic idea.
I know a guy. Yeah.
We're definitely doing
do
that.
Let's do it.
with the
How
with
does
the
it
chips.
ship? How does it ship? Oh, we could order it. We could order it and just have it drop ship to them.
I'll take care of that. That's personal for me.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us here at How to Barbecue Right. And we'll be back next week to do it again. We gone.